All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. This week we're going to talk, obviously, about Tiger and Charlie Woods, mostly Charlie Woods, over at the PNC Championship, lighting it up. We're going to review the year of 2021 with some awards, and we're going to talk a little bit about 2022. Maybe, something big is coming up for the Pin High Podcast in 2022. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
All right, let's get inside the ropes. So, although they stole the weekend, the Woods team did not win the PNC Championship. John Daly and his son, also John Daly, they took it at the end. Disappointing, but I mean, it was honestly kind of fun to watch. He's the freshman at Arkansas. Light it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's legit too, and it's crazy how just the outfits they wore, like the Razorback shorts, and the picture they showed, John Daly's wearing a Santa outfit in the picture.
Yeah,
but he was John really good.
Daly's beard is crazy.
Oh yeah, he looks exactly like Santa too, like Santa would. And
yeah,
what really stuck out to me was that all these guys, usually like you see Charlie go and Tiger goes after because he's the line. John Daly goes first, and then John Daly the second goes second.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's clearly the better player at this point than John Daly is, which is kind of funny to see.
Who do you think is better when Charlie is 18 and Tiger is older?
Charlie.
I mean, I feel but the only thing is I feel like Tiger's short game's just never gonna go away. So he's always gonna be able to putt, and he's always gonna have short game. And Charlie's a pretty good putter. I mean, he struggled a little bit on the first day, but second day it was just draining putts from everywhere. But you got Tiger Woods putting and behind you, so
it wasn't even like he was missing putts, blowing them by. He was missing putts, and they were all perfect speed, just every single one of them. And then he just started draining them on Sunday. So every single one was just he pick up the ball mark and just toss it back to his dad. I aspire to toss the ball mark the way Charlie Woods does.
I missed the podcast for 1 week, and you guys call Charlie Woods the most overrated golfer in the world of golf. Obviously, I know it was a joke. But it's funny that he comes back and this week I don't think he's the most overrated golfer in golf.
No, I still think I honestly it was half a joke but half not, because I still think, I mean, who knows, we've seen obviously Charlie Woods is great. I love Charlie Woods.
Charlie Woods is legitimately it seemed crazy going into this week to just be like he's what, come on, he's a 12-year-old kid, but it's he is 12 years old, and he, on a par 3 that was 170, he tucked back.
He had close to the pin. He had close to the pin on that hole all day.
Tucks it left of the pin. How do you even land that ball left of the pin? It's only a couple paces onto the green.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. The thing that impressed me the most is how he's so even keeled, and so nothing bothers him really, and he's playing on national television with all these people watching as a 12-year-old.
And I just don't think he even knows. I feel like he always has people around him at junior tournaments and stuff like that he's just kind of used to.
No, but not to this level.
I mean, I guess not to this level.
He has to have some people. If you're,
I don't think he has
watching
people
junior tournament.
No,
I in junior tournaments, you might have a couple parents sticking around, but you're not gonna have. Especially if you're not gonna have a gallery of people watching you and your dad, and you're playing with Justin Thomas, and you're playing with Matt Kuchar, you're playing in a televised tournament. That's totally different than.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this event at full capacity too, because I think there was only 3,000 people there, or 3,000 tickets sold for this event. This event at full capacity when Tiger and Charlie are playing.
How many tickets do they sell normally? Like, is it more than 3,000?
I mean, they were limited
Probably not
capacity because of
usually,
COVID, but now like they're probably gonna sell a lot of tickets of Tiger and Charlie playing in this event.
No, and the thing is that we will get to see the evolution of Charlie Woods for years and years after this too, which is awesome.
I think I heard Foreplay talking about it. What an investment for the company PNC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Knowing
everyone, every single year, everyone's gonna look forward to this tournament to watch Charlie Woods play. Like not even Tiger as much this year. Obviously Tiger because of what happened this year, which is awesome. But people will look forward to watching Charlie Woods. Yeah, you're gonna see. People are gonna compare. Like you'll see in a couple of years, you'll see the swing development of Charlie Woods like over the years and how far he's hanging it. Like next year, he might come back and he might be like he's 12 years old. Like 1 year, he might just come back being a foot taller. Like no one realizes.
I was gonna say 12 to 13, or like 12 to 14, 13, 14, like all those. Like that's I feel like you grow a lot in those.
Yeah,
those
and I think
couple years.
I think 16 is the limit when they push you back to the same tees as the pros. So from 15 to 16 is going to be very interesting too.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait till he's back there and he's hitting it further than like JT or something like that. Like just something ridiculous.
Charlie Wood, I was watching on Sunday. His feet, because when I was younger and I was like so small, my feet were like still really big, and so like I feel like that's a sign you're going to grow. Charlie Wood's feet were massive. I know that's weird to think about, but it's like
no, I had the same.
He's gonna be a tank.
I mean, the kid's not gonna be 5'1" his entire life, so.
Yeah. No, how tall? Tiger's like 6'1", 6. Tiger's a big, like obviously he's grown. He's a big guy now, but like, he's like 6, at least 6 feet tall, 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tiger, like Charlie's gonna be probably as tall, if not taller than him, and he's gonna watch his dad out like turn into Bryson before his eyes, so he's gonna probably do the same thing, and then it'll go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. The mannerisms are like exactly the same between the two of them.
Oh, it's awesome. It's so
unreal.
Cool to watch.
And just gonna see more and more of that as they keep playing in this, which is crazy. Now I do want to kind of shift the attention over to Tiger, because like this was Tiger's first like time playing in front of people and on TV in over a year. So, I mean, how do you guys think he looked?
Well, I mean, I think he obviously looked great, but at the same time, like just to be able to like get there in 10 months, get to that point. But like you can tell he's not like completely locked in with his anything other than like his short game.
Yeah, but like even every once in a while he went and like ripped it, and it was just like I think he actually outdrove JT on one of the holes, which was just like in itself was kind of sick. But it's about not pushing yourself that much, I guess. Yeah,
you could tell like I feel like there was one swing on Sunday. I think it was the 18th hole, his approach into the par 5. You could tell like just something. It was like his back or his leg or whatever it was. Like it was just not like fully healthy. And he said after he was like, "I'm so tired."
From what I could tell, on the first swing he took on Monday, like that first shot he took in front of the crowd and everything like that, it just looked kind of. I saw a Twitter video of it. I forgot who posted it. I think it was Rappaport, and it looked kind of just not something I'm used to seeing from Tiger. And then, but obviously, he had like some unbelievable shots. His irons and short game. You're right, short game putting and irons look dialed. Might not hit it as far. But then every now and then you'll see a tee shot on. I think it was 16 both days. He hit it and immediately you could see him like wince and pain. And he's limping. He's taking a car. He's not able to walk a golf tournament for 4 days, obviously, but the way he played far surpassed my expectations for what I was expecting to see.
Yeah, no, same.
And he set expectations pretty low. So like he obviously did that on purpose, and I knew this was going to happen, but like he looked a lot better than anyone could have thought.
Yeah. And because of this, I would even bank on it saying I think he's going to win a tournament again. because he'll be able to pick his own schedule. He'll be able to prepare for these tournaments. I don't know about a major, like it could happen, but I think he will win. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
He could win another match.
He definitely could. He can win. They're playing at St. Andrews.
Like U.S. Open.
Yeah, U.S. Open might be tough.
You got to choose the right golf course. I mean, obviously, like Colin Morakawa has shown you that like you don't have to hit the ball that far to win on the PGA Tour, but you definitely have to pick the right golf course.
He has the same. They said had a stat where his ball speed was the exact same ball speed as Morikawa was.
Right, because
like the tour average. He was tour average, and he's coming off his injury, and he's just not able to walk really yet. If he's able to walk by St. Andrews and playing like, I mean, he probably won't do much at St. Andrews, but like I think he can probably win an Open, and he can probably win a PGA or not PGA Masters again. I think that's probably the best chance.
At Augusta?
No.
I think outside chance. I mean, Augusta's always going to be there for him, right? He's always
I wouldn't count it out, but I don't. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't. I would say no. Just the way he won, and Augusta's like super hilly too, so I don't think he could walk that for 4 days.
Is you also got to be able to walk 4 rounds of golf, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, like the whole week of it. You got to be able to do that, and to do that in just what 4 months, 5 months, pretty much from now.
No, and he's tired from riding a cart at a flat golf course in Florida.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
Gonna be. I think we mentioned it after the press conference. I think we see him. My prediction is St. Andrews in the summer. I think that'd be perfect.
That's what.
But also, we might see him before that. We might see him after that. We might not see him for another year. We might see him at the 2023 Masters. Who knows? I have no idea what to expect. I just know we look good.
Yeah, what we do know is we'll probably see him in the PNC Championship every year. So that's something to look forward to.
Yes, which is awesome.
And just
that's genuinely like an event people will look forward to every year.
And yeah, just like one more thing to mention about the PNC Championship. It's crazy to see, like, obviously, like Tiger's body's like kind of falling apart, but like obviously that was expected. Justin Thomas's dad's body is like falling apart.
Yeah.
And then you see Gary Player, who's 86 years old, and Lee Trevino is 82 years old, and they look fantastic. So I mean, good for them.
Lee Trevino eagled
18. He did by
himself. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool to watch. And I want to say Nelly Korda going up to Tiger and like fangirling.
That was an awesome video
toward Tiger. That was really cool. That's
cool.
That's
a good.
She's like the best player in the world in the women's side.
Yeah, People's Champ of the Week for sure. I would even put that or something like that. I don't know. Just I mean, to think that she's number one. She's literally the number one women's golfer in the world. Her dad's like a tennis star, and like she's still like all giddy around Tiger, which is amazing.
That was really cool to see. That was really fun.
So before we get into some of our awards for 2021, little shout out to Roback. I was just wearing the quarter zip, but I don't know where it is. Oh, I threw it over there. Anyway, I mean, if you're looking for a Christmas gift, last second Christmas gift for a relative or somebody who likes golf, definitely the place to go.
Or somebody who doesn't like golf.
Honestly, someone who doesn't like golf too, because it's like stylish. I mean, there's everything from like active wear to hats to quarter zips aren't just golf. Polos aren't just golf. So you're right, Jeek. So you can go to the link in our bio on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and if you use that link, you can add anything to your cart and you'll get 15% off. So,
I was at the mall today and I was holding a door open for some lady and she said, I like your hat. And I said, thank you. 15%. No, I didn't say 15% off.
Thank you. Link in the bio.
Look at the bio. Look at the bio. Yeah. But I wear the hat everywhere. Literally everywhere.
So. One day, like everything will just have like a QR code on it. You're just like, here, just scan this.
Yeah, it'll just be on like
scan my
like,
hat.
It would just be like floating above your head. Like
So let's get into awards for 2021. And actually, another thing before I want to say is I am so ready for like the actual golf season to get going, because this fall swing has just been brutal. I feel like we've had the occasional like, oh, that's a fun like Sunday finish and we've watched, but like can't wait to get back to watching golf. Like,
I mean, listen, we got spoiled.
This was the most golf I watched all fall.
Yeah.
After the Ryder Cup, this was the most golf I watched all fall this past weekend, and it was a 2-day tournament.
We absolutely got spoiled last
with
year
old guys
with the Masters being so early. So that's just
we had 7 majors in this 12-month span or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think of like the NBA, like they crowned like 3 champions in like 13 months or something. So it's just like I feel like every kind of been like that.
Definitely spoiled.
Yeah, no, the Masters definitely spoiled us into thinking there's just always going to be golf. But I'm excited for just like I feel like the swing of tournaments from the Century. The Sony Open's not great, but like I love like the Arnold Palmer, the Torrey, Riviera. It's just like that's this whole span is awesome.
Yep.
Agree.
Yeah. So let's hand out some awards for 2021, and I feel like we got to start with Player of the Year. I don't know. So Jeek, you have 3 guys listed here.
Yeah.
Morikawa, Rahm, and Cantley. I don't think
nominees.
Cantley doesn't.
I don't think it's.
So Trevor and I were talking about this before, and I was like listing nominees, and I'm like, well, we got to have the 3rd nominee. It's like the Heisman Trophy. Like, somebody gets listed for the Heisman Trophy. They're not going to win it, but they show up, they wear the nice suit, they speak and all that stuff. So Patrick Cantley, you're showing up to the Pin High Podcast Awards. You're wearing the nice suit. You're there. You're doing all the media, but sorry, you're probably not going to win the award.
True.
So then it really just comes down. It really just comes down to Jon Rahm and Colin Morikawa. Now, I mean, Jon Rahm won the U.S. Open. Colin Morikawa won the Open, and they kind of split events kind of this year almost. I felt like one was dominating one event, the other one was dominating in the other events.
I mean, if you want to go with a tiebreaker, whose country won the Ryder Cup, or whose team, I guess.
That's true.
But
you could also say Rahm had a win taken away from him at the Memorial due to COVID.
True.
Which is also probably why Patrick Cantley is on this list.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If Jon Rahm wins that event, he probably wins the FedEx Cup as well. So
I think I still would vote for Morikawa.
Didn't win.
That's true. I still vote for Morikawa though, just because he won the race to Dubai as well, even though it's not really a huge deal.
Yeah, and
he did win that
year just on the European tour too. I think I'm going Morikawa.
I think Morikawa.
Yeah, so I mean, looking at the resume in 2021 for Morikawa, the WGC Workday Championship, the Open Championship, obviously. Let's see, he lost in a playoff at the Memorial. He won the DP World Championship in Dubai. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a hard.
He threw a WGC in there as well.
Yeah, so. and the Ryder Cup as well.
Yeah,
so
I forgot about that.
That's a pretty sick year.
That's a really good year. Yeah. So Colin Morikawa, you are the Pin High Podcast Player of the Year.
All right.
We'll send you your award in the mail. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. You'll get a Boom Sauce shirt soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick.
We could find.
No, he should get a Strokes Gain Approach shirt.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that. Actually, we'll do Mr. Strokes Gain Approach right now because it's the same player. So Mr. Strokes Gain Approach for 2021, just who led the tour in Strokes Gain Approach? It was Colin Morikawa, and he led it by like a significant number. Like he was like, I think 0.2 like Strokes Gain Approach ahead of everybody else, and everybody else was like, split up by like just like fractions of decimals. So, I mean, he led the Strokes Gain Approach by a lot this year.
Mm-hmm. No,
we should honestly just reach out to Colin Morikawa and say like, hey, we love Strokes Gain Approach. Would you come on the podcast? Just
we'll send you a shirt.
We'll give you a shirt.
He would be a good guy to have on the podcast. I feel like he just seems like a good guy in general too.
He seems genuine,
seems way more mature than like anyone his age.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially us.
Basically our age, a year older.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now
let's move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most improved player. And I don't think there's obviously competition, but Sam Burns really cemented himself as like a legitimate PGA Tour like mainstay.
Yeah,
like,
he inserted himself as a top 20 golfer in the world this year, and he's at number 12 this year right now. So top 15 in the world. He won his first 3 PGA Tour events, all in 2021. I mean, you can't get any better than that for not having won on the PGA Tour and then winning 3 times in 1 year. I feel like it doesn't get any better than that.
And he lost to Answer in that playoff at the was it FedEx? Is that where he lost?
Yeah, I think
Answer.
So,
but so he was, and he lost to Riviera. He blew it at Riviera too. I'm pretty sure. Like he was leading that whole week before he blew it.
Yeah,
I think he's the easy choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just unreal year. I'm excited to see what he has coming next year. I mean,
the only Ryder Cup too.
Yeah, the only thing he didn't really do this year, obviously the Ryder Cup, he didn't quite make the team, and he didn't really perform that well in the majors. But other than that,
he'll play well at or not. I didn't mean to say he'll play well. He'll definitely make the President's Cup team.
I think so,
he will. I think he wins an early I think he wins at like Torrey or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he won at like Sony or like not Sony, Century. In a couple years. This guy's kind of coming out party. Like this could be his year of like people really find out who Max or Sam Burns is. Sam Burns.
Yeah. So next award just randomly came up with this, and it's called the Random Player of the Year. So Random Player of the Year is just someone who came out of nowhere, who like either we came onto or the rest of the world came onto, just somebody completely random.
And the nominees are?
Yeah, so first nominee, Guido Migliozzi. He kind of jumped on the stage this year in a few of the majors. Italian guy, awesome name. Second guy, Taylor Gooch. He won recently, and also just had a really solid year in general. And then third guy, Mito Pereira, again, came from the Korn Ferry Tour and like just right away on the PGA Tour was unreal and competing. So those are the 3 nominees for Random Golfer of the Year.
So let's work through this. I don't know if Taylor Gooch came out of nowhere enough to win this award. I think he was a little bit more of a name on tour than these 2 guys, Guido and Mito.
Guido and if you would have asked us who Taylor Gooch was a year ago, we would know who he was.
Probably.
We have no. If you have told us that Guido Migliozzi was like a top 4 at the U.S. Open and Mito Pereira was like top 10 in every single tournament he played in, we would have had absolutely no idea what these people look. I
thought Guido Migliozzi would have been working at my local bodega.
Yeah, and I had no idea what Mito Pereira looked like until I saw him at the Olympics. I still right now I could not tell you what he looked like. If you put 5 guys in front of me, I couldn't say, okay, that's Mito Pereira.
That's a fun game for the future. I could pick out
Guido, but yeah, Mito Pereira is somebody he still hasn't gotten any media coverage. I feel like I'm not going to say mainstream because most of golf isn't mainstream, but mainstream golf media attention either.
Yeah, so I mean, this year, 2021, he won 2 times on the Korn Ferry Tour, which got him into some PGA Tour events. Didn't win at all on the PGA Tour, but competed in a lot of the events. And then obviously Guido Migliozzi competed a lot in Europe. He didn't win any events this year. He did lose in a playoff at the British Masters, and then obviously the T4 in the U.S. Open. So I mean, kind of a toss up. I'll let you guys decide.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Want to do votes? Do you want to do votes?
Oh yeah, we can do votes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Mito.
I'm gonna vote for Mito.
All right.
Yeah, that takes it. I mean, yeah, the wins speak for itself. Even though it was on the Korn Ferry Tour, I mean, he got the wins to kind of fast track himself to the PGA Tour. So, and then when
Guido's
he got
a close second, though. He is a close second.
I think if Guido played in more PGA Tour events, he might have been the winner.
Which do you think he will this year, or do you think he's just a Euro guy?
I think he'll play in as many as he can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what his status is.
He'll definitely be the guy that someone will pick in in the Masters or U.S. Open pool because I remember that guy. He played well at the U.S. Open last year.
I mean, as recent
and
as
he'll shoot 78.
As recent as 2018, he was on the Challenge Tour and the Alps Tour. So I mean, he definitely made a name for himself this year.
Yeah, he
Yeah, that's an award where it could have gone to either of the guys, depending on how you really like look at the award. I guess
Right.
like who was better.
Yeah, we'll get
like Guido was probably more random.
I agree,
but
we'll have a lot of controversial takes. I'm sure a lot of people will be very upset with our decision on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Guido Migliozzi camp is going to be coming up my neck this week.
Yeah, no. If
sure.
you wanted Guido to win that, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and just comment Guido, like we stand with Guido or something.
So we got our rookie of the year. There's not much to be said. I mean, it's Will Zalatoris. I guess Mito Pereira would be in contention, but like Will Zalatoris really came on, and honestly, kind of into the mainstream media, not just mainstream golf, but like he made a name for himself at the Masters. Right. I mean, PMT loved him.
Caddy.
Yeah, PMT loved him. Like, and once again,
the Masters was really the peak of Will Zalatoris.
One of the big missteps of
yeah, if we were giving ourselves an award, biggest miss of the year would be not getting him on the podcast.
That was technically 2020 that we didn't get him. So
yeah, but we didn't have this award last year, so we're grandfathering it in.
I wonder who because Will Zalatoris was the guy from the Korn Ferry Tour that year. This year is kind of Mito. Wonder who.
Yeah, I mean, I said it on the Hot Takes podcast. I think it's Cameron Young this year. I mean, he's already competed on the PGA Tour this year, but he was on the Korn Ferry Tour last year, and he started off pretty hot, and he's pretty good. Mm-hmm. He also hits the ball a mile.
Maybe we'll make some predictions on the year preview too. In a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So the media player of the year is going to be another one. You could also call it like the PIP.
Yeah, the PIP minus Tiger player of the year.
True. That's so annoying. The Tigers can get that. But I mean, all these guys are still gonna win a bunch of money. But you could go with Bryson. I feel like that's the favorite. Max Homa, Brooks, Phil.
Yeah,
I don't think Brooks,
Jim Herman,
quite enough. I think those four are the main names outside of Tiger.
I agree.
I mean, my vote's for Bryson. Just cause
you want to give Max Homa the tip of the cap.
Yeah.
For
you could get a silver.
Funny.
Yeah.
For staying funny, but he's not. He didn't move the needle the most out of all these guys. Phil, I mean, good job. Cavs are still great. I don't think it's him. And
no.
Bryson versus Brooks. Obviously, Brooks won the match, but I feel like Bryson still comes out as the guy who like led the social media. Like,
he posted TikToks. Yeah. He had like the trash talk between him and you're right. Him and Brooks were like that was like the big story like the whole year, and it was media based almost like the whole Brooks video of him looking over the shoulder. And
it's hard to give Bryson it over Brooks though, because Brooks, I mean, ended
yeah,
it.
but when you think about Bryson's year, what did he do this year? He went to the Long Drive Championship. He really competed in the Long Drive Championship. I mean, he set up the whole match with Brooks, which I guess hats off to Brooks as well. He made his YouTube
I will say though
viral this year. The driver fittings.
Bryson never spoke to the media though. So does that add or did that take away from his standing here?
I mean, he was all over social media enough. I feel like you couldn't go a second without seeing Bryson somewhere.
Actually, yeah,
every headline that was non-Tiger related was Bryson related. So, my driver sucks.
The more I think about it, the more. Yeah, like I was like, the more I think about it, the more like crazy comments, like my driver sucks, like all this stuff.
Even the viral videos of him like trying to like push the ball over the water and like hitting like monster drives and stuff like that. All he's done, and like his YouTube also is just like he has a legit YouTube.
Yeah,
Bryson.
And then the tournament of the year, we got a couple here. Got the Kramer Hickok Harris English Travelers playoff, and although it was a great tournament, I think we might have to cross that one off.
We're just a little biased to the Travelers Championship. That's all. So we had to put it on the list.
Now, you wrote down the U.S. Open and the BMW. Obviously, I'm a little biased on the BMW Championship. That was a crazy tournament. I mean, the U.S. Open, that moment where Jon Rahm made that putt on 18 was unreal. Bennett, our friend Bennett, was right next to that bunker that he was right behind the bunker that he hit it out of. You remember they kind of like laid up out of the greenside bunker
on 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he has a
the bunker right at the green.
The putt Jon Rahm made. That was an unreal moment.
Yeah.
So
I think if I just based off of pure craziness, if we're going tournament of the year, I would go with the BMW, just because of there was the Patrick Cantlay versus Bryson, like Bryson saying like stop moving. Who knows if that was malicious or not? Bryson's missing these like tiny little putts. Cantlay's making putts. That was a crazy tournament and crazy. Pat can attest to it.
It's my turn of the year, I'd say, just because like also being there, that was like one of the craziest sporting event experience I've ever seen, because like I was in like the whatever the really nice like owner's booth like overlooking the 18th green, and I got to watch all that after just like having a brutal week of like no sleep, but like couldn't even go to like the 17th green because it was too far away. So you just see all the people running to the 17th green. I wouldn't even know what's going on, and you guys would be like texting me.
Yeah. I mean that was actually gonna be my vote as well. I love the U.S. Open. It's a major, like makes sense, but that didn't go to a playoff. Like obviously it did get finished on the last hole and stuff like that, but like I kind of backed Jon Rahm to win like either way. So
I picked Jon Rahm.
The BMW was just like crazy, and like you just really didn't know who was gonna win. It went back and forth. I feel like things turned around. Things turned around so quickly. Like you thought, like, oh, like Cantlay's gonna win. Oh wait, no, Bryson's gonna win now. And then like it just back and forth the whole time. That's my pick. And like the BMW Championship's still a big event. So.
Oh yeah, next year it's in Delaware.
Nice.
Not great. And then let's move on to moment of the year. We got a lot of these.
This is a tough one.
Only a few left. I mean, how could you not mention? I feel like there's so much crazy stuff that happened this year that you kind of even overlook the. Sorry.
Do we have a write-in vote?
I'm out.
Sorry. Were you guys hear that?
Yeah, I said, do we have a write-in vote for the moment of the year?
Anywho.
Oh wait, no, that's just Jon Rahm calling. He wanted Player of the Year and didn't get it.
Yeah, he's trying to give us some more. No, it was like Guido Migliozzi.
Oh, yeah, Guido Migliozzi on the phone.
Guido Migliozzi's agent. But as I was saying, how can you not mention Phil winning at the PGA Championship? I mean, that had to be one of like the more unlikely things that could have happened.
I mean, yeah, that was definitely my pick for sure. Just like first player over 50 to win a major. I mean, like thinking that Phil was totally washed up at this point. Like obviously still hits the ball far, but like I didn't think he had a shot at winning a major. And like he just comes out and wins the PGA Championship out of nowhere, kind of.
I mean, we were just waiting for him to every round. We're just waiting for him, like, all right, he'll shoot 80 tomorrow. Right. Like we're waiting for a triple bogey. It never happened. I think he finished top 10. I think that was his only top 10 of the entire year. Was that win? Crazy. And he's like, wasn't even close to the FedEx Cup playoffs. Wasn't even like he wasn't even like he was barely even considered for the Ryder Cup. Besides his win, if he didn't win, he wouldn't have even been considered for the Ryder Cup at all. It was unbelievable. That I think the Rahm at the U.S. Open is unbelievable. Tiger at PNC is unbelievable, really cool. But I think Phil, we'll never say anything like that again. Hopefully, maybe not because Tiger, and hopefully Tiger does something like that. But we'll never say anything like that. I think that was Phil's like last hurrah almost. I think that was unbelievable.
Definitely. So let's go on a shot of the year. This one's tough. Because you put a couple here, and I'm not even sure they are the the shots of the year. Could you consider a putt as a shot of the year?
It's a shot. It's a stroke.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought of those three first off the top of my head. I couldn't. It was the putts at the U.S. Open for Rahm, Jordan Spieth hole-in-one at Bay Hill, and then Phil holding out from the bunker like that, puts the club up in the air. That was really cool. I love that.
It's tough to say.
I have an honorable mention, but it wasn't on the PGA Tour. I remember there being a walk-off hole-in-one. It was in a college event. He did it he won his first college event by hitting a hole-in-one on the 18th
Give it to
hole.
him. Give him the shot of the year.
That's pretty good.
Give him the shot of the year. That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, his name is Austin Greaser. He hit a 168 par 3 at Olympia Fields to walk off and win his first college win.
Wait,
that's really cool.
Is the 18th hole a par 3?
I guess.
Olympia Fields?
Oh,
wow.
How did we forget? How do we forget this? Sergio advanced in the Dell match play with an ace to beat Lee Westwood on the 16th hole at Austin.
Oh yeah,
I
completely forgot about this.
Is that the one? You think that's better than
that's a PGA Tour event. Like I feel like.
Yes, it's Sergio.
We're PGA Tour.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, all credit to the guy who won the USM and had that hole-in-one. That's unbelievable too. But Sergio winning on a hole-in-one, that's wild. In the same tournament that Rory hit into a pool, imagine that happening.
On the first
same tournament. Yeah.
All right, let's get moving along with these last couple awards. We got People's Champ of the Year. And, Jeek, do you want to introduce this one? Because I remember you finding this one.
Yeah, so I was just looking back at all the People's Champs we had, and I didn't really remember a lot of them, but one of the ones that I did remember was the Bermuda Championship a couple weeks ago. Brian Morris, who is a club pro who had cancer, they gave an exemption for him to play, and he played in the Bermuda Championship, and that was a pretty cool story. So I feel like it's hard to top that, almost, to be the People's Champ of the Year. So
I completely agree. There's nothing else better than seeing a story like that on PGA Tour, playing an event, Monday qualifying, or got an exemption, sorry. Awesome moment.
Agreed. And then the sexiest golfer of the year was also the sexiest golfer at what tournament was it?
CJ Cup.
The CJ Cup.
Yes.
Young-Hoon Lee. What a guy.
One of his goals, the goal is to become the sexiest golfer in the world.
And here he is. 2021.
And here he is. He's winning the award. Congrats.
Congrats, Young-Hoon.
H. Lee. Yeah.
That
is the best, still the best. Jake, we're talking before, so what's the People's Champ of the Year? Are we giving it to a guy who had cancer and is playing the Bermuda Championship, or do we give it to the sexiest golfer of the year?
And then you split them up.
Yeah, and then I was like, well,
yeah,
we just give him the sexiest golfer of the year.
Up.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And then,
which I think was the right move.
The podcast of the year, our best podcast. I mean, we got a pretty good one coming up, but that's when it's going to be 2022. It's got to be Joe LaCava, episode 80.
There really is no competition to that.
No competition. I mean, you saw Joe LaCava on the bag this week.
Every single time I saw him. Every single time I saw him, it's I interviewed the guy, or we interviewed.
He's in my contacts. He's in my phone.
Yeah, I've exchanged text messages with him. Patrick Diamond almost called him.
No, I didn't actually. That was a joke.
Maybe one day.
I don't know. That'd be bad. But anyway, that was definitely such a cool podcast. And I would love to have him on again because I feel like we're just more confident. I feel like our interviewing skills have gotten better since then.
Yeah, definitely a goal to have more interviews.
Not starstruck, but we were a little nervous going into that one.
It still turned out really good.
As we would be going to an interview like that with someone like that.
Big one. And hopefully there's a lot more like that in 2022. I almost got it 2021. And then, was the Pin High podcast favorite golfer of 2020 Ches Reavie?
It was. We were discussing this before you hopped on. Last year it was Ches Reavie, so we need
Okay.
a new winner this year.
He beat out. I'm pretty sure he beat out Brendan Todd by the slimmest of margins too.
He did.
I'm pretty sure.
And then the favorite golfer 21.
Now Trevor is personally responsible for 2 of these nominees. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you want to introduce them.
I know you put Rogers in there for me. I don't think I picked him enough or paid attention to him enough, or he didn't do enough to be even close.
No, he definitely he probably did not. I put an answer in Xander's because I picked them. I pick at least one of them every week.
Is there anyone else?
Usually they don't.
I mean, I think Victor Hovland might be a good shout just for the Puerto Rico curse.
Hovland.
Yeah, but
that's probably Fiend. Yeah, Hovland's.
I mean, I did get my my friend from college for his birthday this fall got Hovland shirt. So maybe
that's really cool.
He's the only player on tour that I spent money on his likeness. So.
And we did talk about the curse more often than we probably should have or needed to.
Well, it's still going. He still has not won in the United States.
You're right. Yeah, and Tony Finau has not won on a Sunday in the United States.
So watch Victor Hovland win at the Sony or the Century, and it's like, well, the contiguous United States.
Yeah, like well, yeah, well, he hasn't won in continental.
He hasn't won on the East Coast yet. You know, it doesn't count.
Yeah, he hasn't. He or Tony Finau hasn't won on the continental United States on a Sunday. So.
You know, now that I think of it, did Tony Finau break the curse by winning the Ryder Cup?
No,
not
doesn't count.
Not individual.
Because Tony Finau was on the team in 20. Was he on the team in 2016? No, he wasn't. He was not. No, that has to be individual for Tony Finau. That does not count. We'll add the team event aspect. Yeah.
So as we continue to talk about the Puerto Rico curse, who's the Pin High Podcast golfer of 2021? Because this is a close one.
I will say Victor Hovland just because we could do joint Victor Hovland and Tony Finau talking about the curse.
Golfers of the year.
No, but Victor he still won more.
Yeah.
He did win more.
And I think we picked him more.
I'll throw Victor Hovland in there as well, which kind of cements it.
Yeah, well, Victor Hovland is our Pin High Podcast golfer of the year. Kind of an upset in that award.
Well, yeah, and he won, and he didn't win on a Sunday this event, so it still doesn't go toward his the Puerto Rico curse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is it for our awards. Let's get in the clubhouse. Talk about kind of just what we got going for 2022. So I'd say the first thing we got to talk about is skins. I'm not sure where we're going with the betting format yet. We'll discuss.
I think we talked about. I think we can discuss it more too. But I think from what I remember, we talked about. We each have like kind of like an allowance each week of like how many units we're allowed to put on the line, and then we make picks based off those units. I think,
and
maybe, and we keep track of units that way, like who's up, or we do record.
More incentive to get better value, yeah.
Yeah, it incents you to pick a winner or like a plus 300 instead of picking like a minus 150.
And a winner is
like
huge.
So
a winner is
instead of like a record, it's like how much are you up / down?
So maybe we just like dish out 5 units.
Yeah, we have
5. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. We can talk about it more too. We'll discuss it more.
Yeah, and we don't even need to go through our picks that much, like explain them. We can just be like, unit on this, unit on this, unit on this, like teams on that.
Don't have to overcomplicate it.
I agree.
Exactly. So that's it. That's it for skins. Another thing we just kind of want to tease is that we have a interview coming out in 2022, like in like 2 weeks probably.
Either next week or 2 weeks, or we don't know yet.
In the next couple of weeks. Do we want to say with who?
Yeah, Mr. Style is what his
Marty
name is.
Hacker.
Marty Hacker.
Former
awesome
fashion
interview.
director at Golf Digest. It was obviously it's not like a name, like a household name that you're like like Tiger Woods, but like it's when you really listen to the interview, it's the most interesting interview I think we've done.
Yeah, and this guy has been everywhere. He knows everybody. It's just like he loved to tell us stories. He
he told us stories about Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he let us in on a couple of secrets as well. So I mean, it was a good interview.
He spoke very quietly in those parts.
About Tiger, Phil, DJ.
So look out for
Ricky,
that.
like everyone you could think of in terms of fashion. He talked about, and it was really cool to hear how involved. Anything you've worn in the golf industry, he's probably influenced. So keep that in mind.
Probably. And then, is there anything else we want to talk about?
Charlie Woods is still overrated.
Charlie Woods is still overrated. Is there anything else we need to cover for 2022?
I mean, the holidays are coming this week, so happy holidays. Might make a little festive overlay this week.
Sure. Do it if you want. But yeah, so no tournament this week, no tournament next week, maybe not even the next week, but then we got the Century.
I think the week after that. Week after New Year's is Century, I think. Looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Indeed.
Prime time ago.
So we'll see you next week for our preview. Are we going to do our preview?
Maybe. We'll see what next week brings.
Yeah. Either the preview or the interview. But yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode of the Pin High Podcast.